Hello and welcome to episode number 21 of the CANAS podcast.
21 episodes.
That's nuts, hey?
It is nuts.
And you know what? We still haven't come up with a jingle yet.
No.
Okay.
No, we haven't.
Celso and I have been arguing about our jingle. I came up with one, but he hasn't come up with anything yet. So I need everybody who's listening to provide their feedback in the comment section below. This is my proposed jingle. Ready? Oh my god, no. This is too funny. Okay, it's CANAS podcast. We talk sports.
No.
Canadian sports.
Oh my god, no. Okay, yeah, we're gonna need to change.
Yeah, we need help.
We're gonna need to change that, guys. We're gonna need to change that.
All right, yeah, definitely. Please help us with our jingle. That'd be too funny, man. That'd be way too funny. Anyways, oh my goodness, it'd be catchy. It's catchy as heck.
It's catchy, but
yeah,
it sucks.
Well, think you come up with something better.
I'll try to think of something better. Okay.
Anyways, this week we'll talk about a little bit of soccer. We got some news in regards to Alphonso Davies that we want to touch base on. You can probably tell by my tone of voice it's not the greatest news, but well, that's okay. We'll talk about it a little bit. Golf is going on right now. Tennis. There's a female tennis player, Canadian, that played recently. I haven't seen her since her first match, but we'll see how she's done in the other matches. I mean, I think you can tell from my tone that she won the first match. But anyways, we'll talk more about that later. The Toronto Raptors and the NBA, we'll talk about them. The MLB or NFL, I really don't think we'll touch base on either of them. All you need to know is that we'll talk briefly about the MLB because there's games that have been canceled.
Yeah.
But
we can talk about curling since the Briar Zone.
True, we could talk about curling. That's always a sport that I've really wanted to play. Like, it's not one that doesn't look like fun to. It's not fun to watch, but I feel like playing it would be so fun.
It's okay to watch, like in my opinion. Like,
yeah, that's true. Okay,
I did see some curling during the Olympics, and just the way they like have to like aim their shot or like curl the rock or to like get to the spot that they want. It's pretty fascinating.
You do require a lot of skill, actually.
Yes.
And like I find like all the skips, you need to be super smart with physics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you need to know like every angle and all that stuff. So yeah. It's something that little by little I've gotten into watching TV. But if it's a soccer, football, hockey, baseball, basketball, any of those are on, I'll watch those first.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Anyways, and then we'll touch lastly on the NHL. I don't think we'll touch much on the NHL. There's really, since last week, nothing has changed. Just a handful of games have happened, and I don't see NHL too much about it. So let's start with soccer. And I guess the Canadian women, they're playing in their respective leagues now because the tournament has come to an end. So they're all playing in their leagues across everywhere in the States for a few of them, and then over in Europe for a couple of them as well. The biggest news again, like, it has to come from the men's side, and it has to be Alphonso Davies. This week, the manager of Bayern Munich, Julian something, I don't remember what his name is.
Nagelsmann?
That's the one. I'm impressed that I remember the Julian part. Anyway, he came out to say that Alfonso's like still a week or two out and then he'll get another round of testing. Like, he's not going to train for those times. So that pretty much is going to guarantee that Alphonso Davies will not be playing in the upcoming window. So I've had a lot of time to think about it, so I'm going to answer first, but I'm going to ask you the question because I always love asking you questions out of nowhere so I can get a genuine response from you. Okay. But my question is, who would you like to see replacing him? Is it it's like a veteran or is it a young player? And I'll answer it first because I'm going to say I would like a young player, specifically Jaquil Marshall-Rudy. I want him on this team for that final window, just to be able to be around the national program, because in November, December, when the World Cup is, I see him have played a massive role in TFC this year, getting a lot of playing time. The World Cup is a perfect opportunity for him. So, like, do you remember James when he had his massive World Cup back in 2014, I want to say? 2014, yeah. Massive World Cup there in Brazil. And then immediately was signed by, I believe it was Real Madrid. Like, Jaquil Marshall-Rudy, if he has the chance of doing that. Because our fullback position is a position of weakness for us at the moment. The defense overall has the potential of being a position of weakness for us. But Shaquille Marshall-Rudy has a really good playing style, similar to Alphonso Davies, and they're already calling him the next Fonzie. So I know, way too early in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he's on pace to do the same. So what do you think? Do you prefer a veteran or a youngster?
I don't know much about names and such, but considering since like in this window we're basically in, we just need a point. I wouldn't mind getting a younger player having some playing time with the national team. And to play on the World Cup team, do you need to have played in the windows, like one of the windows, or
no?
No,
not from my understanding.
Okay, so
I mean, I think Herdman would want to still have it because you don't want like brand new face in the World Cup first stage, right?
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I would say younger player just so that he has experience, and if like one of the players that that you mentioned a while ago, that can play for Team Canada if he plays like a cap, then I might as well just.
If we can convince him, we have to convince him now because he's pretty set on representing Mexico.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've followed him on Instagram and everything, and everything's being posted about the Mexican national program and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it is looking like he's going to side with Mexico, unfortunately.
But don't we have another player?
We have a bunch.
Okay,
we have a few young players like England, but I'll be honest. Also, like they're not good enough to be on the men's team yet. Okay. I don't think we should. And I agree. I think we should try to get all these guys coming in, but how we perform in the World Cup is going to make them do that. I think we can probably steal one or two. The only kid I would try to steal was that Mexican kid.
Yeah.
But if he's so set on Mexico, it looks like right now that I don't know.
That probably not.
But that's a really good point, though. If we could find a way of convincing him to get capped for us in all 3 games, oh yeah, dude, then we could have him for. Then that's the number 10. Steven Eustachio is our current number 10. That Mexican kid would be an upgrade, for sure. So, and yeah, speaking of Eustachio, so he's with Porto. He's not playing too much, unfortunately, though, in Porto. He signed a loan deal from so he went from like bottom of the table in the Portuguese league to like one of the top teams in all of Portugal. Mm-hmm. But he's a backup there. Like he's the replacement for when their main guy gets injured. But Porto's a big team, man. That's a Champions League team. That is a consistently Champions League, if not like competing in the Champions League. Like I don't know if they made it to the round of 16 this year or not, but they have in the past multiple times. What's it called? Iker Casillas played for Porto recently.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, just for a year.
He?
Dude, this was like last year before.
Okay.
Like he was in his 40s still.
And he's still playing?
No, he's done. Iker Casillas is done. I'm saying like he played a couple years back.
Oh, for Porto. Okay. I was like, he's still playing.
Yeah, he played recently. Yeah. But and then like you have Ike Ugbo who's playing in France now. He signed a loan deal from Ghent. They're not good, man. They're fighting relegation right now, so that's going to be a tough spot for him. But they brought him in to get goals, and he's playing a lot. So, and the French league is good opposition, better than Belgium, so that's nice. And then you have Tejan Buchanan playing some good minutes over there, also in Belgium. Club Brugge, that's a very good developmental team, as we've mentioned multiple times. Jonathan David, he's going to move this summer, and it is said that he will be moving to a big club, like big club, like I mean like Barca, big. Real Madrid, Bayern, Chelsea, Man City, United, Liverpool, like big club, bigger club.
Well, you should go to Bayern.
And you know what? Interesting that you bring that out. I actually think that's a legitimate possibility.
Okay, I was going to say because it's my favorite team, but yeah.
Hear me out though. Robert Lewandowski for Bayern is going to be leaving this window. He's done. He's already said it. He wants to go elsewhere. I see him playing in the Premier League. He wants a different type of challenge. Now, number 9 for number 9, Lewandowski is the best striker in the world right now. Yeah. There's no question. But why wouldn't you try? Like, I think their first attempt would be Erling Haaland, just because he's like a much bigger name. But like for like, Jonathan David plays a somewhat similar style to Robert Lewandowski, and you have the Canadian connection.
And isn't he like younger too? Like really young?
Who David? David is only 22.
Well, then you can sign David for like a couple years, and he'd still be playing like
he would be fighting. Yeah,
competition.
He would be fighting for a starting spot there. I don't think it would just be handed to him. I do think they have some decent ones.
No, but still, like playing for Bayern will help you out a lot.
This transfer of his is going to be the Canadian record, no question, in my opinion. Because Davey signed for £13 million, and now he's like worth over 100.
Dang.
Yeah,
that's good.
Sorry, 13 million euros, not pounds.
Yeah.
Bayern is gonna, for me, north of 50. Actually, probably closer to 70 or 80, in my opinion, is what Jonathan David is gonna go for. Yeah, just look at his numbers, what he's done for the national program. Unreal. He's played outrageous for the national program. Actually, he's played better for the club, but he was huge for the national program in the window here in Edmonton, right? I can envision him. I think, just book it right now. It's going to be Bayern Munich for a Canadian record fee of 75 million euros. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. And honestly, if that actually happens, I can see it. I can see one of my bold predictions coming true. Jonathan David moves to a different team and is the leading scorer of that league.
Oh yeah, he could definitely.
If he goes to Bayern,
he could definitely lead.
Yeah.
The Bundesliga.
Yeah. So my next predictions will be the lottery numbers if this happens. So stay tuned, and you might win some money. Yeah, I mean that's really it about football. To be honest with you, right now, there's not. The window's going to come up soon. In a couple of weeks, we'll do another All About Footy. Let's also mention, like, obviously I'm knocking on wood right now. It's we only need 1 point. So, again, our odds are, like, in the 99.999 percentile right now. It's like it's going to take a catastrophic decline and loss for us to not qualify. And, yeah. And then
we just have to play well in this window just to, I guess, raise our rank.
I think that's going to be our biggest thing. We need to be ready, finish off strong, and be ready to go into the World Cup. We're going to have friendlies from now until the World Cup starts in November. We're going to play a bunch of them. And I really hope that we play friendlies against the Denmarks, the Spains, the South American teams.
Because they're worth more.
Well, they're better teams. I don't really care about ranking points. I don't necessarily too much. I care more about getting them to play against the top opposition. Because Canada has shown that they're
going to be playing in the World Cup.
Exactly. That's why your friendlies aren't going to be against the Cayman Islands or against the Bolivias or like, and then Bolivia's not a bad team in South America. All South Americans are just absolutely insane. But Zimbabwe's, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to play them. You ideally want to find a team that's like a solid team that you can play against that is a World Cup caliber team. They play against each other a lot. But like I can see Canada being a hot commodity for different teams to measure themselves against, because Canada has been the biggest story in all of world football the last 2 years. There's no question. Definitely last year, 1,000%. And this year they're continuing, especially with how we did it without Davies, a 9-point window without Davies, huge. Yeah, I really hope that we get some good international friendlies in before the World Cup, and I want Spain. I want to see how we compete against Spain. Italy would be nice. See how we play against Italy. We need to play against these top teams to see really how we compare ourselves. Because like Canada's the best team in CONCACAF right now, right? I think it's fair to say we're first in the table right now, and likely should be finishing first in the table by the end of this for sure. Hopefully it all works out. But we at the end of the day, I would love to see no losses in this next window. Maybe 2 ties and a win. That would be really nice to see. I'd like our unbeaten streak to go until the end there, but I mean, at the end of the day, we kind of need to not lose because we need at least 1 point out of these games. So I wouldn't want to qualify in third. I wouldn't want to qualify in first.
No,
it doesn't make a difference in what pot we're in. Probably has a difference with the ranking points because we're probably going to go down if we lose some games. But anyways, I digress. It's going to be a fun window to watch. Less stress in the sense of like we need a win to make the World Cup. But more stress about
if we want to have favorable
opposition.
Opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, man, John Herdman is just a god, dude. I'm not even gonna kid it. I'm gonna keep on saying it. Oh, man, I'm gonna find out, send it to Canada Soccer, a tape of just loving John Herdman. This man, what he's done for this country, and with respect to the football here, it's just
pay for half the statue.
Yeah, I'll start a GoFundMe to create a statue in every major Canadian city.
There we go.
Yeah. Just have a field dedicated to just Herdman. John Herdman Field. Yeah, hilarious.
Now
but
the question is where?
yeah, literally anywhere. We'll tear down whatever we need to tear down to make that field. But no, like legitimately, man, what this guy's done for this country is just ridiculous. How he's united everyone with respect to this, and the teams he's taken over were not terrible teams, but he's made them.
But he definitely made them better.
Like significantly.
1,000% better.
The women for sure. The men, he turned them from 70th to top, like perennial, like a genuine contender. I would even say for the World Cup, like something. If you look at our lineup, it's not even that. It's not great. Like there's two names that people recognize. That's it. Davies and David. That's it, man. What a way to unite a team. Anyway, that's all about football right now. Golf is going on. The Arnold Palmer Invitational is on at the moment. Round 1, Rory McIlroy had a 7 under. Good round, good for opening round.
Yeah.
And then he played even the second round and he lost his lead.
That's not a good round.
No, I mean, honestly though, like you and I would be ecstatic over even par.
Yeah.
Like, we would be jumping up like celebratory. You don't
I'd
drink.
be happy.
You don't drink, but you would probably have a beer that day.
Yeah,
like,
probably, yeah.
like a celebratory beer, right? But yeah, and then what else was I gonna say? We have a couple Canadians in there. Corey Connors, last time I checked, was like 2 over or 1 over, and he barely made the cut. So we'll see how he does over the weekend. He hasn't played good golf, man. He hasn't started well at all this year yet. Not a single tournament. He's been like in contention, I guess, in like heading into the weekend. Today's Saturday. We record Saturday nights, so I guess Sunday you and I will be. I'll watch some golf tomorrow for sure, and we'll see how it goes. Well, how the Canadians do, but yeah, there's not much Canadian golf news except for Brooke Henderson. Brooke Henderson is honestly doing quite well. Last time I checked, she was in a contention spot for as well, and that is she's top 6 right now. She is 9 under currently. It says it's live, so we'll see where this is. And Corey Connors, please forgive me, Corey. He is now 2 under. He has come back. He will be heading into the final round in the top 10. So, still has 5 shots to make up behind Horschel, Gooch, Hovland. McIlroy had a round of 4 over par, which I would still be celebrating, honestly. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see a Canadian winning a tournament this year. It's just lack of consistency right now. Like, the other day we had Svensson, I think is what it was. He was the only Canadian that's been heading into the final round with a chance to win recently, and his putting was just not there, man. No, seriously though, like it was bad. It was bad. Like, and the commentators are like, this is like by far the weakest part of his game because his iron play, unreal, drives it a mile. Iron play, brilliant iron play, and then he 3 putts from like 6 feet out. Most should be putting it in 1 from 6 feet. Like 3 putts from 6 feet out. He like overshoots it by a foot and then he misses the 1 foot putt. Yeah, but then it's weird. It's consistent that it's just unfortunate. Yeah. But the best part is that putting is so easy to learn. You just learn how to read the greens properly and then get a feel for it. Because they don't have the green books anymore, hey? They used to have books about the greens, about the slopes and the angles and everything on the greens. They're not allowed to have them anymore. So now, Victor Hovland, for example, and probably actually what I'm going to start what I do, I don't have a green book myself, but what I'm going to start doing is like you walk towards it and like you put weight on both feet and just see where it's angling like by your feet. That's what Hovland does. So we'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see how my putting works this summer. But good news is that it's so easy to read. Once you learn how to read a green properly, you figure, and then you're fine. Yeah. You're fine. You just need to make sure you check it out like the entire X and Y axis of the green, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, all 360 degrees. But aside about golf, really quick, let's touch base on MLB. Really, really quick. The lockout seems like it's going to last a long time. We're not going to get Blue Jays baseball anytime soon, it doesn't look like. They are so far off on what they want to get done out of this. And if we're going to be honest, like they're all pissed off with each other. The league hates the players. The players hate the league. Like, I don't know, man. It just wasn't. It's not great right now. This lockout is. They definitely need. They definitely need the CBA to get done. Really. Anyways, anything you want to add about baseball?
Not really. Like, I think they canceled like the first 2 series, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing it's going to be more because, yeah, like you said, nothing's really getting solved, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the MLB with the players and the owners. So,
yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait and see because they are definitely losing a lot of money for sure.
The way the owners are looking at it, though, is that they're also saving a lot of money by not paying the players.
Oh yeah, like some of the players are making a lot of money. So
yeah,
I guess
you look at like I guess so the way the media is portraying it, the owners are jerks. That's the way that they're getting portrayed. And like I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the former CBA, and like, man, the owners have a lot of control. And this is the only league without a salary cap, and where the revenue isn't split 50-50. It's like 70-30 or 65-35 for the owners. So yeah, man, everyone is against the owners right now. Everybody's like, the owners don't care about baseball, which I'm starting to think that too, to be honest with you. But I don't like I guess getting my opinion, basing my opinion on what other people are saying. I like to read the other stuff, and everything I'm reading, I'm agreeing with it right now. It does look like the owners are just being really selfish, but it's a business, I get it. But you also, like in any business, you have to make sure that your employees are being treated properly and paid fairly, which I understand they're making millions of dollars as players. I get that. Most of us are never going to see that in our lifetime. Okay, I get that. But they also know the fact that they own baseball teams and they need to be paying their employees properly. So, and the employees being the players. So, really quick tennis. Leila Andy Fernandez is in the Monterrey Open in Mexico. She is the defending champion, and she is currently in the semifinals. She is actually playing at this very moment. She won the first set 6-1. Hopefully she continues her run there. She needs to win this tournament in order to not lose ranking points and then position and seeding in the WTA. So nice to see her back. It's not a huge tournament by any means. She is a number 2 seed. So there was not many players that are higher ranked than her, but she's winning the games that she's supposed to this week. So that's nice to see.
And just gets her in the swing of things until the next Grand Slam, I guess. So
yeah.
Just kind of like practice, but like also try not to lose any ranking points.
Absolutely. Indian Wells, this is upcoming week. Indian Wells starts, I believe, on the 7th, Monday the 7th. So that'll be an interesting tournament to see. We should have many Canadians in there competing. I can see one of them making the quarterfinals. And more than that, it's going to be tough. Rafael Nadal is just way too good right now. And the women's side is always open. The women have never had, like, apart from Serena Williams in her prime and Vanessa. Oh my God.
Venus.
Serena and Venus. I don't know why he was saying Vanessa Williams. Oh my gosh. What a disgrace. Venus Williams.
There we go.
And Serena, apart from like when they were just dominating the world. And Sharapova was pretty good there too. But now it's like very, what's the word? Like everybody's good.
There's lots of parity.
Thank you. There's a lot of parity in the women's game right now.
Yeah.
But that's really all about tennis, though. I don't think much else that we'll discuss, really. Let's moving on to the NBA. Again, the only Canadian team being the Raptors. The Raptors had a really good week against Brooklyn, hey?
They did.
Ripped them apart in Brooklyn. Much closer game at home, but they still win. I believe they're still in the top 8. I hope they finish 6th at least. Right
now they're 7th.
7th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope for them to finish in 6th so they don't have to play in that play-in tournament. Plus, they'd also play against the 3rd seed. And I saw a news report out there that James Harden was wanting out of Brooklyn because he was scared of a first-round matchup against the Raptors because Kyrie Irving wasn't able to either play in Canada or in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't think that they could win without Kyrie. So they have 2 superstars in that. I'm not considering Kyrie Irving a superstar anymore. He's a piece of garbage. But Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah. James Harden, when he's on, he's on. He's one of the better players in the league.
Yeah.
Whether he's on consistently anymore or whether there's a locker room / attitude problem, that we'll really never really fully know. However, just coming like if those reports are true, that's pretty good. That's a compliment on the Raptors, man. They don't have a single superstar on that team. It's just a couple good complementary stars, and it's looking like Barnes, our Scotty Barnes kid. He is getting comparisons to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I told you this last time, I think.
Yeah,
that's insane. And I'm looking at how Giannis started. Like, I'm not saying it's exactly identical, okay? By no means am I saying this, but yeah, if Giannis is such a dominating figure right now, and he wasn't when he started, but he's like learning the game, bulking up and everything, I'm interested to see what Scotty Barnes can do. Because we have a young team around him still.
Yeah. And
Freddie Van Vliet,
what,
25, 26?
Superstar.
Yeah. Freddie Van Vliet is still a young guy too. I mean, not 25 or 6, because I forget that they graduate college before playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Typically. So, I guess this isn't Canadian related, but I think it's still interesting to see. LeBron James has gone out to say that his last year in the league will be his son's first year in the league. And he will sign wherever his son signs. Or whatever his son gets drafted.
Yeah.
How cool would it be to see
he's
him?
going to sign like 1-year deals until it happens?
Well, yeah, he always has his opt-out. It's LeBron James. Many consider him the greatest player of all time. He's going to get whatever he wants.
Oh, definitely.
He'll stay in the Lakers, and then when his son's eligible, he's going to go sign for whoever drafts him. He'll still be decent at that point. He's not going to be the LeBron James of old. Like, he's individually, he's having an unreal year this year too. Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to see where Bronny goes. I mean, is he going to be the first overall pick of his draft year? Because he's going to come straight out of high school. He's not going to come out of college. So is he going to be the first round pick, the first overall pick of that draft year?
Who knows?
I'd be interested to see, because if it's not, because literally maybe he might be, because like they're going to be getting both him and LeBron. You're not drafting just one player. You're drafting two.
You're drafting two, basically, yeah.
And guarantee, like, he might even take like league minimum for that 1 year for him being there, just so he can be with his kid. That'd be nuts. I don't know if I wouldn't mind seeing that in Toronto. Just Bronny James. Could you imagine? But that kid has so much pressure, though.
Oh, definitely.
Unintentional from his dad, but it's just so much pressure. Same with like Charlie Woods. The kid's going to be have so much pressure on him in the golfing world too.
Yeah.
Poor kids, man. Poor kids. But all right, I'll be honest. Also, I don't think there's much about hockey that we can really talk about. The trade deadline's still coming up. Canadian teams still doing about the same. There's no difference. Calgary's in first. Edmonton's going between 4th and 2nd in the division right now. Montreal's still last, close to last in the entire NHL. Actually, I think they are last in the entire NHL. Ottawa's still second last in that division. Like, there's no change.
Vancouver moved ahead of Winnipeg, and the last time we checked, I think Winnipeg was ahead of Vancouver. So that's the only change, really. Yeah. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how like the teams going into the playoff push. Like, there's like 7 teams for 5 spots or something like that in the West. The East has been set for like a month and a half now, 2 months almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, no big trades have been called in. Or have been done over the last week since we've released our episodes. Calgary's still in first in the Pacific, and I very much see them finishing first in the Pacific this year. That's just the best team in the Pacific, and it's no question. They could challenge for the best team in the West, in my opinion. But I think Colorado just has way too much offensive firepower to anyone even come close to them. That is a good team, good goalies, good defense, elite forwards, top to bottom. I think the only forward group, there's 2 forward groups that I can say are competing with Colorado from depth, top to bottom. It's Toronto is one of them, with Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Spezza in your 4th line, Bunting still producing. Bunting, great rookie year for him for sure. And I want Winnipeg is there, man, but I don't know what's wrong with them. Yeah. On paper, that's a very deep forward group,
but for some reason
the defense is just terrible.
Yeah. And then Hellebuyck is just trying to keep them in the games every time he plays.
So if we're talking top 12, like their best 12 forwards, it's definitely like Toronto's there, Colorado's there, Winnipeg would be there. If we're talking about top 9, I think Edmonton could be in there. Our 4th line isn't that great, but the top 9 for Edmonton is pretty decent. But looking at the other teams,
healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Looking at this, honestly, Edmonton does not compete with them right now. They can soon, but they can't they're like not right now. Our biggest issue is goaltending has been for the last decade. So I don't know.
I'm honestly thinking like even for like trade wise for the Oilers, it's either get a really good goalie or like an improvement to our goalies plus a good defenseman, or just go big on the defenseman and just hopefully just bring up Skinner, keep Koskinen, do something with Smith.
Yeah, you and I have said this for the longest time now. Skinner up here is the play. Give him a backup. What was it? Backpack too. Might as well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to carry the
he's gonna have to carry the team, or he's gonna have to carry the whole team on his back.
Yeah.
But yeah, more realistic. I think we get defense. 2 defense, a bottom 6 forward, 2 defensemen, and there you go. Because like Edmonton is second in most man games lost. No, pardon me. First, they have the most man games lost by defense.
Defense, yeah.
And they're in the top 3 for goalies, I think, too. And forwards, they're up there as well. So, no, top 3 for forwards, top for defense, top 5 or 10 for goalies for sure. Mike Smith missed all year. So, yeah. Calgary's bottom of all of those. In every list.
Yeah.
Now, this raises the point. Calgary, if they had injuries, do you think they'd be remotely close to where they are?
Goaltending, they wouldn't be first in the Pacific. If it was forwards, they still have enough depth to kind of maintain status quo.
I agree.
Defense, they still have really good defense. So
this is why I'm starting to think like playoff hockey. Everybody's injured. Everybody's going to be done at that point, right? Yeah. Everybody's going to be injuries are going to pile on at that point.
Yeah. So you need the depth.
And this is why I think Calgary's depth has not yet been tested that much. Mm-hmm. Not taking anything away from them season because they are having an exceptional season. That is a very good team, top to bottom. 1 through 12 forwards, 1 through 7 defense, 1 to 2 goalies.
Even both goalies. Yeah.
Very good team. Yeah. It pains me to say it.
Yeah.
But very good team. But the fact that they have the fewest man games lost by far, it raises a question. Definitely raises a question. But anyways, I don't know, man. I think that's everything for me for hockey, at least.
Not really much to say, like you said. There hasn't been anything super interesting. Yeah, everything's been normal.
Do you want to talk about the Brier real quick? Like, who do you think is gonna win? Who's the favorites have to be Kevin Cooey and then the Bochner kid from here in Alberta as well. They have to be 2 of the favorites. I haven't when it was Glenn Howard and what's the guy from the Alberta guy's name? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they had they won the Olympic gold.
And I think he has a shop in
the Saville Sports Center here.
Yeah, I worked there, and he has his own little shop there.
Yeah,
I don't remember his name.
I thought it was Kevin Cooey for the no, it's definitely not Kevin Cooey. Oh my god. Martin.
Yes. But I don't remember.
It's not Russell. Kevin Martin. There you go.
Is it Kevin Martin?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go
Martin.
with that.
Yeah. I haven't watched those guys. It was always them 2 in the finals every single year, and it was some good curling, man. Some of the greatest shots I've seen in my entire life have come from him or Howard. Mm-hmm. But then Cooey's a good guy, man, and then Bochner or whatever his name is.
Botcher.
There's
no N.
Botcher. Sorry, I butchered it. Anyways. Yeah, those guys are always the ones competing. Yeah, it's getting more. There's more parity in Canadian curling, though. You know what, though? Gone are the days where Canadian curling, Canadians are expected to win gold in curling, though, in the Olympics. The parity along the entire world has really gone up, but it's almost sad for Canadians that we're not consistently winning those anymore.
Yeah, because it was basically our sport to win in the Olympics,
and not anymore.
Not anymore.
Very unfortunate, but. Anyways, that's all I believe for the CANAS podcast this week. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please let us know in regards to the jingle. We need help figuring out this damn jingle. I'll be honest.
We don't even need a jingle.
We need something to start.
You just wanted
we
need
to something to open this up. This is boring listening to my voice.
Honestly,
hi, everybody, and welcome to the CANAS podcast.
I'll see if I can find something.
Figure something out
for an intro.
because
Not
next
jingle.
week we're gonna come up with your idea, and if you don't come up with an idea,
I probably won't come up with an idea, but
then it's gonna be the jingle.
I'm gonna try to find something to replace your little intro jingle
It's
with
so
an
catchy.
actual good intro.
We can do an outro jingle.
No.
Thank you everybody for listening to the CANAS podcast. We talk sports, Canadian sports. Thank you everybody for listening to the CANAS podcast. This was episode 21. Huge already, man. Or we can legally drink in the States.
Yep, yeah, we can. Yep.
Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you later on this week for our Olympic recap episode.